it, Sarah. All day. Hell yeah.
Arm wrestling's about to take place.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. I'm Paul Italia. I'm here with my special guest tonight. We got Lachlan Adair, the #1 arm wrestler of Australia, also a good friend of mine. Got to kick it with him last week in Percival, Virginia at Travis Bajan's big pay-per-view event. So I was catching up on my YouTube this week, and I ran across an interview with Neil Pickup that you did before your big match with Todzilla. And it had you talking about Corey West. I was like, whoa. I was like, I didn't know there was some sort of drama going on between you and Corey. So I just kind of wanted to touch on that situation we had. So on the show, you know, I had you quoted saying, you said, realistically, Corey is a 250-pound, 260-pound guy stuck in a 400-pound fat suit. So kind of want to just dive into this, brother. What's going on with that? What's the beef with Corey West?
Yeah, no beef. It's just people have been talking about a match between Corey West and I for over a year, right? And I've never met the guy. I've seen him train, obviously, seen him on Michael Todd's YouTube channel training and stuff like that. And he seems like a super nice guy. And the comparison that was consistently made about us was like, you know, people kept on saying, yeah, but the guy's like, you know, 450 pounds or something like that. He'll smash you. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense because how much of that usable mass is actually in there? You know, like we know it's muscle and muscle that bends arms and moves barbells. Yeah. So that was all I was referencing to. And he texted me later on and he was like, this is me at 300 pounds lean. Again, he was a lot leaner than he is now. I think our definitions of lean are probably closer to, I think we would agree with our definition of lean, and he was still away from that. So, massive dude, huge potential. There's no issue between us. I think a match between he and I will happen eventually. But as I stated previously, kind of I want to focus on internationally, people my own weight at home, just trying to get everyone in that Oceania area that I want to, so that is open weight. So I've got a match against a guy who's 160 kilos. So that's like 380, 380 pounds, big guy. But internationally, I just keep it my weight, yeah, for a little while. So the Corey thing, there's not much to it, man. We all good.
So, yeah, I also was saying about with Michael Todd, it was not much of a technician because he recently learned from Travis Bajan how to work the straps. The reason why I bring that up was because I actually was there when we were over in Shreveport, Louisiana, and we were over at the casino, and Michael Todd met us over there. And I think it was maybe like a month and a half before his big match with Devin and all. And he wanted to tighten up his technique with straps. And I mean, you know, the best guy to go to that, we all know, is Travis Bajan. He's a ninja with the straps and all. So funny story is it was about like 2:00 in the morning. We're going back to our hotel room and we decided we should start working on the strap technique. You know, I had a couple of drinks, all of us or whatever. So next thing we're taking arm wrestling table down from Michael's truck and we're bringing it upstairs at 2:00 in the morning to the penthouse or whatever. So we bring it in there. There's a couple of us in there. We got Travis, we got Michael Todd, we got a couple of the oil guys. And, it starts going down. They start pulling each other. And, next thing we're all yelling and screaming. And then next thing we get a knock on the door. I'm like, uh-oh, who's that? So we open the door and it's security. And they're like, yo, we got a phone call about a bunch of screaming going on in here. What's going on? So now they look in and everything. And now they see Travis there and they see Michael Todd and they see an arm wrestling table. So at first they're a little in shock. But now one of the guys recognized Travis and Mike, and they're like, oh, my God, I see you guys on TV all the time. I see you guys on YouTube. So you're like, you know what? Just try not being as loud, but you guys keep doing what you're doing. So, that was my little funny story with that. But they definitely, Travis and Michael Todd that day definitely did a lot of training with the strap. And, he definitely was working with him a lot. So I just wanted to bring that up for you.
Yeah, and it's a response to it. Like, obviously, he's Kingsmere. It's very technical. He's very good in his lane. It was just very surprising to me to hear that he was like, oh, no, I don't really concentrate on like how to manipulate the strap. He relies on the ref and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that's unusual. And then other comments he made about, you know, training his hand and wrist being a focus more so than in previous years. And I think a lot of people got a bit off put by that comment. And I never said that I could beat either Corey or Michael. I don't like to make those sort of predictions and, you know, carry on like that. So I think a lot of people kind of got a bit crossed up, but no, yeah. It's all semantics. It's all G.
I got to admit, Lachlan, the reason why I brought all this up, because I know both competitors. I love both of you guys. And I really, honestly, would be really interested to see that match. And that's why I am kind of, you know, poking the bear a little and trying to bring up this situation and all.
Yeah. I mean, it'll happen eventually. Don't worry, it'll happen. I mean, if it gets offered to me, I'm there.
The other thing I want to bring up is, you know, Godzilla came in that day against you. So it was a couple months earlier. We were in Lindale, Texas, and it was Todzilla versus Corey West, as you all know. And you know, when Todd walked in, my mouth dropped. I was just like, oh my God. I was like, you know, this is definitely the best shape I've seen him. You know, remind you, I was only 2 years in and all. You know, but I have seen Todd quite a few times. I've had him at my house and all. But I definitely was pretty surprised when I seen him against Corey West. Really in shape. I thought that was him peaked out that day. I got to say, last weekend, the Todzilla version that came into Percyville, Virginia, was a whole nother animal. You know, I know you said on your recap that, you know, me and Travis said that, but we might have said that just to make you feel better or whatever. No, brother, I am saying this as a fact. I am telling you this straight up. Like, I couldn't believe the level Todd has brought this to. This is almost not human. You know, it was a total shocker to me, which I didn't think it was possible to come better shape than he did against Corey, you know, but then to see what showed up last weekend was just, you know, had me in awe. So I just want you to understand that, you know, that was not us trying to make you feel better or whatever. That was definitely facts. And I definitely am going to be bringing up tomorrow when I talk to Todzilla. I'm going to be bringing up this question, and I want to hear from him what he feels like, if he was more peaked out than he was against Corey West.
Yeah. No, I tell you, like when I gripped him, I was like, everything was different. So, like, you know, I got a pretty good memory, and yeah, what I felt 2.5 years ago, extremely different Todd that I got, and I was like, hot damn, all right, this is.
Can you give us an example of what do you mean by that? Was it the size, the width of his hand, like the strength, like what was different?
His hand felt. Before it felt kind of pliable and you get stuck on his arm, and that didn't feel like it was, you know, very easily moved. This time, his hand just felt like a brick. Everything was more rigid. I kind of gripped it, was just like, okay, I can't really squeeze this with. It's very solid. He just felt more solid than he has done in previous years. So that's kind of the only way to explain it, you know, because a lot going on. It just felt like a lot through his hand. So wasn't expecting that either.
I didn't get the grip up with him, but I'm just basing my observations off of the physical appearance, and what I've noticed when he walked in was, I mean, just a totally peaked out. I mean, the veins were popping, the muscles were popping. I mean, he just looked scary, like straight up scary that day.
Yeah. Well, he was in shape.
I also wanted to bring up, so we got going on, my next event is April 23rd. We're going to be in Louisiana, and we're setting a bunch of the big super matches. I'm working with John Breida and Matthew Chop. And one of the big super matches that we just set up was Corey West is going to be pulling Mike Aiello in a best of 5 right hand. So I kind of wanted to get your thoughts since you pulled Mike Aiello before.
Yeah, interesting match. Mike is someone that when he crashes down on your arm, if you get a stop on him, he'll just stick with it. Just stick with it. Like, it's kind of, that's his jam. He hits and he just holds and keeps dragging you down. So You really need to take advantage of Mike's weaknesses to get there. So, like, I think it's a pretty even match, to be honest. I'm looking forward to the outcome of that. We've got the super experience and strength of Mike, and can he get to a shape that's good enough to beat Corey? We know he can, but will he bring that in Louisiana? We don't know. So.
Did you see the match before? I think it was like overalls and maybe the Arkansas. I think it might have been Michael Todd's tournament he threw, and it was Mike Aiello versus Corey West. Did you get to see that match?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, Corey got the win that day, and
Uh-huh.
a couple of people were saying that Mike made a mistake. That Mike initially, was in a more dominant position, but then might have made a mistake, and Corey capitalized on that. So that's what makes this even more interesting, is that they've gripped up before.
Yeah, that does make it interesting. Yeah, I mean, Mike can come back with a different plan, and like he's strong enough to do it. So